New York Post that just made me say, "Oh Lord!" And I'm not going to read the headline right now.
Okay.
The headline later.
Okay.
Because I'm just going to read a lot of the story, and I'm just going to read it. John, you can react. Gov, you can react. Greg, I'm just, I'm not going to ask people, whether they understand or whatever. But here we go. Because you might kind of remember this person, because I believe Heather had it in her news a while ago. Here we go. Yuri Tolichko, who infamously married his specially designed sex doll Margot last November in a wedding ceremony attended by dozens of guests, has found a new love match.
Oh, I do remember this story.
The new love match being a giant ashtray he wants to adorn with an artificial vagina.
Hold on.
Where did the I'm just reading the article, John. You can just laugh throughout. Okay?
He wants to put a vagina on an ashtray. It didn't come with one?
Yeah, you got the cheap model. All right, here we go. Okay. Where did the pansexual 36-year-old hairball muscle meet his bizarre new love? At the club, of course. Although the proudly bald social media star from Kazakhstan noticed the ashtray a while ago, he claimed it was only when he arranged a photo shoot with the butt receptacle, B-U-T-T, during a paid personal appearance at the venue that he discovered he had feelings for it. Goodbye, fleshy, lifelike silicone. This daring dude is into hardcore heavy metal now. Quote, I liked it. The smell of it. The touch of metal on my skin. It's fantastic. He declared to Jam Press, quote, I like the touch of sharp metal on my skin. It excites me, so I think you can understand what attracts me to the ashtray. Rumor has it Tolichko met his new love while estranged from his wife Margot, of course, was an artificial sex doll. His marital bond was reportedly broken sometime last year. Yeah, because he cheated on her with that ashtray.
By estranged, you just mean deflated?
Tolichko also claimed he's been dating his ashtray for a couple of months now. And while his new love, let's call it AT, shall we, is older, he's of the age, ain't nothing but a number mindset. I generally like things with history. I love that this is not a new ashtray. It has had contact with a really large number of people. Oh, so it's a slutty ashtray.
It's a butt receptacle.
Exactly, had lots of butts in there. AT ashtray also helps him satisfy a once secret fetish for dirty stuff. When I hugged it and pulled out cigarette butts, cigarette packs, and all sorts of stuff, I liked it. I liked it when the ashes stained my bare feet, body, and beard.
Oh, so he put the ashes... obviously, kissing.
Just because he fell hard and fast for the ashtray, he's not expecting the ashtray, or AT as he calls it, to give up his hard-earned career. I want to bring this ashtray home, but it still has to continue to work in the smoking room. After all, this is what I like. I can bring it home sometimes. Let's see. He's not ruling out taking it to the girlfriend stage with AT and plans to maybe even replenish my harem. However, he's also planning to take the big plunge by gifting AT with an artificial sex orifice. Quote, this is the New York Post. This isn't just, some random magazine. Quote, I think the vagina can be placed in a tube, and the tube can be placed in a round hole where cigarettes are thrown without a hint of irony or self-deprecation.
He thought about this for some time.
I know.
So he wants this to be...
I have a special passion for objects. They've always been alive for me since childhood. This is certainly not the same as a person. These are completely different feelings. This is akin to how a violinist can love his violin, which is 300 years old. Believe it or not, this far-fetched fetish could actually be a real which is commonly defined as a condition characterized by abnormal sexual desires. All right, now we're getting too clinical. Again, we doctors quoting.
Yeah. Who cares about the reasons?
Yes. By the way, in his real job, it says he hypes himself as an opera director, acting teacher, public speaker, and performer. He now aims to enter the streaming porn industry to better entertain his 108,000 Instagram followers.
So he's hitting OnlyFans.
Probably. I'm not
he
going
gave
to...
the nickname, right? AT.
AT, yeah. You're asking.
Yeah. And he wants to... So, like, if... I would think if the vagina that he wants to put on this... I can't believe I'm saying these words out loud in this context.
Your kids are loving this term. We're going to school.
Yes.
Hi, Mrs. Jensen. Hi, Mama Jensen. Go ahead, John.
So, but he actually wants the vagina to be part of the ashtray where they throw cigarettes. Like, what if there's a hot one in there? I mean, it's gonna...
I don't know.
It's gonna burn.
Yeah. Okay, so the headline that attracted me to this article, I'm not attracted in that way.
I was gonna say, the only notification Stoney gets.
Yes. I have a new ashtray app. We could have had this ashtray for a 6th-round pick. Here's the headline. Infamous man who married his sex doll is in love with ashtray now. Now, if that doesn't say read me, what does?
Well, it does. And in full disclosure, I had scrolled through this and obviously saw the pictures, which, ew, it's about the only way I can put it. And then at the break, I started reading aloud the first couple sentences, and you told me to wait, don't read it.
Yeah. I'd rather have your natural reaction, which we got.
Yes, and I stopped at, has found a new love match, a giant ashtray he wants to adorn with an artificial vagina.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to say about this. To each his own.
See, the difference between you guys is that John saw this yesterday, but chose not to share it with the rest of the world. Stoney did.
Because I think the world needs to know this. This
Really?
is just, oh yeah, this is just what they do. That's true, but
this is one of those where yes,
But, hey,
the
John,
headline is will grab you.
Right.
But then you have a choice to make. Do I want to waste the next 5 minutes, or could I do something else? And I chose
It's
to do
stories like
something.
these that I just always tell people, yes, everybody has something out there.
Exactly.
You don't think somebody's doing something or has
Of
some weird
course.
fetish or some oddity about them?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes, they do.
Absolutely. And by the way, I might have made that decision, Gov, but
You couldn't write this.
I know.
Like, you couldn't make this up.
I know. It's just like, it's unbelievable. That's why I didn't want to make any comment. I just wanted to just read the story. I don't need to go, hey, 248-539-97. Have you ever gotten excited by it? I sure know. No, it just needs to be, people need to be educated about this bizarre stuff. And by the way, yes.
We're really being educated.
By the
We
way.
left all the educational stuff out because that got
John.
boring.
John, correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, I chose to read it on the air.
Yeah.
But we send a lot of, story ideas to a certain person who puts the
news articles together.
The rundown
yes.
together. So the producer of the show put it in the rundown. So
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Because I like to dangle you out there.
Of course. Of course.
Be careful with the words we use.
That's right.
Gov says that everybody has
Dangling for him.
Gov says everybody has something like this, like something. That's why you have a backup, like embarrassing thing to go to. That's not quite as bad as your most
The
embarrassing.
most embarrassing.
You have a
Yes.
backup. That's
You
like,
got to go to the
acceptable.
story you tell.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, football season is here. Get ready with the ultimate season preview, the 2021 NFL edition, brought to you by Odyssey and the Locked On Podcast Network. Go in depth with dedicated shows for every division. featuring local insights from Locked On and Odyssey insiders, including Ross Tucker and Jason LaConfort. Get team-by-team updates heading into the season. Get perspectives that even would make Bill Belichick blush with the Ultimate Season Preview 2021 NFL edition. Get local takes on each team from each conference. Plus, get expert predictions on where each team will finish. It's all on your Odyssey, your home audio for football. All right, speaking of football, coming up next, we'll talk to he's not in the Hall of Fame, but LeVon Kirkland will join us. What a great player he was for the Steelers. 97-1 victory. All right, here we go. It is football season and the summer comes to an end and heats up. So does the sports betting action at BetMGM. Sign up now using the bonus code STONY. And your first wager is totally risk-free, up to $1,000. Place your bets on all the exciting showdowns in baseball, MLS, and more sports from around the globe. When you register with BetMGM, you also get instant access to a variety of parlays, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials on big games. From breathtaking goals to colossal home runs, the king of sportsbooks takes every play to a new level of excitement. Simply download the BetMGM app today. You go to BetMGM.com and enter the bonus code STONY to get back up to $1,000 on your very first wager. With BetMGM, you're just a few taps away from turning game time into showtime. New customer offer, paid and free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 or older. Michigan only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJE AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. The crash is now blocking the right shoulder, 275 northbound at 6 Mile. Already some heavier traffic on 275 between South Huron Road and 94, and on 75 southbound approaching 12 Mile. Protect yourself from the COVID variants by getting fully vaccinated. Discover the facts at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
At home, in your car, or at work. Detroit's sports station. 97.1 The Ticket.
This is Zach Gell with an Odyssey Sports Minute. This year, Jared Porter was fired as Mets general manager for sending explicit, unsolicited text messages to a female reporter in 2016. Zach Scott, the current Mets acting general manager, was arrested Tuesday morning for DWI. The Mets have truly been an embarrassment both on and off the field this season. The first year under Steve Cohen has been disappointing. However, I'm not ready to give up on the new Mets owner, and I still trust him, but this offseason is crucial, and Steve Cohen must clean house. The Mets need to fire Sandy Alderson, Zach Scott, and Luis Rojas, and turn to the best man available to decide the future of this team in Theo Epstein. I don't usually believe in curses, but it does seem like the Mets always have something go wrong. So Steve, make Theo an offer he can't refuse, and bring the curse breaker to Queens. I'm Zach Gell.
A child's body temperature rises 3 to 5 times faster than an adult's, and leaving a child in a hot vehicle can lead to their death very quickly. Tragically, in 2020, 24 children died of pediatric vehicular heat stroke, and many of these incidents occurred when parents or caregivers simply forgot the child was in the car. Please set yourself reminders on your cell phone or place something you'll need in the back seat so you don't forget your child. Always look for your baby before you lock. Paid for by NHTSA.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up? We can help you get started. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Castrol GTX and an STP oil filter, plus an STP air filter or cabin air filter for just $34.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery. Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
2 Men in a Truck is the leader in all things moving. When it comes to moving, we can do it all. Whether it's down the street, out of state, or something as simple as moving a heavy appliance from one room to the next, we can handle all moving needs with a level of professionalism and care that is unmatched in the moving industry. All of our movers are professionally trained, background checked, and drug screened to provide you with a seamless and stress-free moving experience. Get a free quote today. Go to 2meninatruck.com. That's 2meninatruck.com. We move people forward.
DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is giving all new players a can't-miss offer for Week 1. Bet just $1 on any NFL game during the first week of the season and receive $200 in free bets instantly, no matter what. You heard right. DraftKings is giving all new players $200 in free bets instantly when you place a bet of $1 or more on any Week 1 game. Head to the DraftKings Sportsbook app now to check out all the great promotions and daily odds boosts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 971THETICKET to receive $200 in free bets when you place a $1 bet on any Week 1 game. That's code 971THETICKET for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline at 800-270-7117. 21 and over. Michigan only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. If you haven't refinanced your mortgage in 2021, you need to call Hall Financial right now to see if you qualify for our no appraisal 8-day close. Call today, 248-308-5000, or go to callhallfirst.com.
What are you waiting for? It only takes an hour for you to have your child's heart screened.
Starting
Get
Route
your kid's heart
20824
checked
Shannon Street. Head
Cardiovascular
northwest
Center
on
at
Loch
Beaumont
Lomond Drive.
Hospital in
Then
Royal
turn
Oak.
left onto Inkster
Details
Road.
at
In 1.7 miles.
971theticket.com.
Turn left onto West 14 Mile Road.
Radio.com is now Odyssey. Download the Odyssey app and listen to 97.1 The Ticket and all the sports, news, music, and podcasts that move you.
Joining us now on the Stoney and Jansen program is a guy who most people might not remember from college football, but he had a great career with the Pittsburgh Steelers, all-decade linebacker, two-time All-Pro Bowler, Levon Kirkland, who's the host of Believe in Clemson Football, the Believe Podcast Network, and we're happy he's here with us. How you doing, Levon?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, we're doing all right. You got the premier game coming up this weekend. How excited are you to see college football kick off, but especially the Clemson-Georgia game?
Well, normally you don't have top 5 games, especially the first game of the year. So we're pretty excited about it. And the Georgia and Clemson game has been a traditional rival for a long time. It has close proximity. Both teams recruit the same guys. And they've been, the games have been close basically every time they play. So it's a great game to start off with.
Are you worried at all that with, the SEC, what they're doing, and then the proposed alliance between the ACC, Big Ten, and Pac-12, that a game like this won't take place as often as it should?
I'm a little worried about that. I think it seems like Georgia Tech that played Georgia, and that's a big draw for those guys. They look at Florida, Florida State playing like a Florida, that's a big draw for them as well. So yeah, the way you can worry about, but you can't run for it.
Levon, this one, you mentioned it the proximity, the great matchup between two really good programs, but what also makes it special is the history. Year in, year out, when you have a game like this, moments come up that are talked about, they're relived by alumni. What's your favorite moments from this matchup?
Okay, I'm going back way back here, 1986. Clemson plays Georgia
at the next light. Turn left.
And David Trevor makes a 28-yard field goal during fashion. It is, pandemonium after the game where the Clemson Tiger guys are jumping up. The announcers are screaming in the booth. And then the next year when I was in Clemson in 1987,
at the light, turn left onto West 14 Mile Road, then turn right onto Inkster Road.
Those are probably my 2 favorite games. The 1986 is definitely my favorite.
So a kicker just basically is the man for Clemson football historians like yourself, huh?
Oh yeah, but Butler did the same thing. I think the year before that, 1986, when he kicked that 60-yard field goal. So special teams has always played a part in this war between Georgia and Clemson.
Now, you played linebacker in the NFL for a long time. My partner here, 10 years in the NFL with the Redskins, Lion player here in Michigan. He can't stand kickers. Do you have
turn right onto Inkster Road.
No, not at all.
That's because you played on the defensive side of things.
Stereotype about kickers in the league and how strange they are. And nobody likes on the team. I had some great kickers. I had Chris Darkey, David Treadwell.
In 1.4 miles, turn right onto Northwestern Highway.
In the pros, I had a guy named Gary Anderson, and then also Laura Johnson, Mark Rollins. Yeah, so I had some guys.
So our careers overlapped a little bit, and I've got to ask you, because we had training camp in Frostburg. You were obviously in Latrobe, and we would every once in a while scrimmage. Do you miss summers in Latrobe?
No. Not at all.
Well, training camp, yeah. I think you probably did this too.
Training camp was rough back then.
It was actually training camp.
Yeah, it was in the dorms. You had to get back to sleeping in a cot, basically. And, it was on a small campus. It was tough going back. From all the freedom you get in a season, then training camp, and you kind of locked down.
When I want to ask you, because you do the podcast for Clemson, and obviously there's no more Trevor Lawrence, but you've got a guy in DJ Uiagalelei that is, we saw him last year against Notre Dame. We saw him, occasionally throughout the season. What are your expectations for him? And as fans, can we be realistic in those expectations following what we saw from Trevor Lawrence?
As fans, no, we can never be realistic. Our goals are very lofty, and we expect Superman-like performances from these young men. So, as a fan, no, never realistic. But this guy, DJ, has a live arm. You saw it against Notre Dame. All through preseason, they've been raving about him and how good he is, what a student of the game he is. All the
At the next light, turn right.
So I think you expect some good quarterback play. It may not be Trevor Lawrence, but it should be a pretty good, shot. So I expect him to be a really big-time player as the years goes on.
How about the Georgia quarterback, Daniels? You like his work?
Well, yeah. I mean, he has that thing that, quarterbacks are known for. He's confident. He has moxie. He has a good arm. I mean, last year he came in and he did a good job for him last year.
At the light, turn right onto Northwestern Highway.
And Georgia always has good players. They always have a good offensive line, a good running game. And if he can really throw the ball well, or at least manage the game well, Georgia has a good shot at beating Clemson.
Well, final thing from me, your alma mater, I'm old enough to remember when they won the national championship with Danny Ford in the I think it was 81, if I'm not mistaken, around that time frame. But now, Clemson, obviously, a powerhouse. Is it all due to Dabo, or what turned the whole thing around?
Make a U-turn.
I tell you what, when Danny Ford was there, we were really good. But Dabo has took Clemson another atmosphere. I think that he has a climate there that not only produces winning, but breaks the athletes. In
In 6.2 miles, take exit 14C onto M39 and Southfield Freeway.
Our coach Smart, you know, tough guy coaches. But those guys work hard and they buy into Dabo and his philosophy. And as a coach, that's what you can hope for. You want the team to not only buy into it, but take ownership of it.
Levon, thank you very much.
They do.
We appreciate your time. Levon Kirkland, host of Believe in Clemson Football and the Believe Podcast Network. Of course, a great player for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Joining us on Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station on sports headlines all day, every day. From the Sold by YC Sports Desk, this is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by Super Car Wash. AJ Hinch was hoping for a wake-up call for the Tigers after a bad loss on Tuesday, and he saw a spark from his team last night. A big rally in the mid to late innings and an 8-6 victory that stopped Oakland's winning streak at Comerica Park at 12. Detroit also ending their own 4-game losing streak as Miguel Cabrera, Akil Baddoo, and Harold Castro each had multiple RBIs. Home runs for all three of them, including number 502 for Miggy. Joe Jimenez earning the win as he, Jose Cisnero, and Gregory Soto all tossed perfect innings out of the pen. In the minors, Tigers prospect Spencer Torkelson recording his first multi-homer game at the AAA level, hitting 2 bombs for the Mud Hens yesterday against Omaha. Michigan State making it official that Alan Haller will take over as the athletic director after being deputy AD under Bill Beekman before he resigned. Haller grew up in Lansing and says he's excited to help lead Spartan Nation. And after cutting both of their kickers on Tuesday, the Lions bring on former Brown and Bengal Austin Seibert off of waivers to handle field goal duties. Zane Gonzalez also added to the practice squad. Detroit also adding 14 others to the practice team, with quarterback Steven Montez also reportedly set to join. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villar from Stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
Thank you very much, Chris. Tigers AJ Hinch will join us at 8:02. The 2 Grand Slam coming up at 7:25. Well, we get a real taste of college football meetings tonight.
Yeah.
Big Ten. Well, we had a little bit last Saturday. You had a Big Ten game.
Yeah, we had a big zero kickoff. We talked about Nebraska and Illinois. Yeah.
UCLA and Hawaii.
Yes. Yeah. We mentioned Zach Charbonnet in the 6 for 106 yards, 3 touchdowns. Tonight we're going to be obviously watching Joe Milton. And that game that Tennessee has against Bowling Green, I actually think anybody's going to be able to see this area because I believe it's on the SEC network.
What?
You get the SEC network? It doesn't matter. That's not the one I'm going to go to. It obviously will be the Golden Gophers taking on the Buckeyes.
Yes.
And C.J. Stroud. What's he look like at
I remember actually being Bryce Louise for basketball. He was there being recruited. And the fans recognized all those recruits. And they were chanting C.J. Stroud. And certainly didn't do anything because he's in Ohio State.
I wonder how he feels about his Brewers getting a 3-year, $1.4 million.
Is there another kid there too? Jack Miller?
Jack Miller's a quarterback. Yeah. I don't know if he has an NIL.
No, I know, but I'm saying that there's other as well. So he's got not just one, he's got 2 people.
Yeah. Well, there's going to always, and this is a quarterback room. I think all of those kids are 5 stars. And maybe not Jack Miller. There's another freshman that came in this year. Before Brewers redeclared to become a freshman out of Texas instead of skipping some years. So they've got the most stars at quarterback room by the year. And so there's a lot of competition there. And C.J. Stroud, obviously, the leader of the clubhouse, will be starting for the Buckeyes tonight. And after Justin Fields, after Haskins, and the run that they've had at quarterback there, everybody's eyeballs are going to be on obviously C.J. Stroud to see if he can be the next guy to lead the Buckeyes back to the college football playoffs.
In 2 miles, take exit 14C onto M39 and
teams in there. For me, I'm going to play Mr. Obvious on this.
Okay.
I think
Stay in the
I would
second
look at
lane
their
from right.
schedule. Okay, because they had one hard game, and well, no, it's Nebraska. That's not
Right, yeah. So they played.
So I think Oklahoma came up, like we had Iowa State. A lot of teams are going after them. Conference
Use the right
is
two lanes to take exit 14C onto
stuff to play,
39
obviously
and
Texas,
South
which will be a tougher game now that I think it's Sarkisian. But I think they have a cake. Ohio State, I think, has a
Take the exit.
Alabama's Alabama. And Clemson, who else in the ACC?
Well, it's funny you mentioned who else in the ACC could be any good this year. Because I believe that we could have a new contender for the college football playoffs. And that would be Mac Brown, Sam Howell, and the North Carolina Tar Heels.
In 14 miles, turn right onto Pinecrest Drive.
Well, how about this hype for the offense over the last 2 years? Sam Howell completed 68% of his passes. Last year, they averaged 537 yards of offense, 42 points a game. And the only time that they will play Clemson will be in the ACC title.
They go to Notre Dame on June 3rd. That would be their real tough game.
And then
Don't play anybody out of conference. It's really tough. What a bad seat to pick there, trying to get Miami and Florida State at home.
Right. And then they start off with Virginia Tech this weekend on Friday night.
Until they prove that they're not going to stumble against an ACC Michigan team.
Here's the other thing. In Louisville, you talk about how great their offense was. How many guys from that offense? Sam Howell's
They lost 2 receivers.
How about the running backs? They lost 2 running backs who were really, really good. One's
And
Chance
Brown has done a great job of recruiting. And so I'm just telling you right now, and Tom, you're exactly right. They've got to play Miami at home. That'll be a big test. And then they turn around. They have a bye week leading into their trip to South Carolina. And Matt Brown, to me, I know down in Texas, they're all wishing that they had made a different decision. They hung up to Matt Brown for a little while long. It was very unpopular down there. But he's done an unbelievable job of recruiting and turning this North Carolina program. 2 years ago, he almost beat Clemson, should have beaten Clemson. And I think this year is the year that they get over that. And they're ranked at 10 right now. And so I know that Tom would put something in there, who's outside the top 10. They're not outside the top 10, so I can't include them in that discussion. But they're the team that I think changes things in the ACC. And it may not be the next dynasty in the ACC is North Carolina. It's still going to be Clemson for a few years, and with no end in sight. But I think this year, and I do think that everybody should keep an eye on Sam Howell, because he is, in my mind, clearly the best quarterback in college football this year.
You're not buying that kid from Liberty.
Malik Wills.
Yeah.
He's going to put up a bunch of numbers.
Let me ask you though. So many times. Especially with the lines you're going to be picking. We've been dissecting this guy for a long time. But just, why is he worse than Trey Lance? I haven't seen him play. So that's why I'm asking you, because you have.
I don't think he has the arm that Trey Lance has. He doesn't have the strength of the arm. And Trey Lance is bigger. I believe he's a better athlete. And I'm not saying that Malik Willis isn't a good quarterback.
Right.
He's just not. He's going to put up much numbers because he's really good.
Well, Trey Lance played.
Right. And so, if we're just comparing those two, I'm just talking about how does he compare to a Spencer Rattler or a Sam Howell. Some guys at some bigger programs.
Correct.
And I think Sam Howell, the only thing that it turns me off a little bit to Sam Howell is the fact that he's only 6'1". I wish he was just a couple of inches taller. But we've seen quarterbacks that are a little vertically challenged be successful. It'll be interesting to see how Baker Mayfield does this year. He is very similar to Baker Mayfield, but I think his Sam Howell's arm and accuracy is much better than Baker's.
Our telephone number is 248-539-9797. 2 minutes now coming up at 7:20. That's what I mean. They have an easy path, and I think if they're undefeated, they'll get in. But there is a team who I think might crash that party, and they have one tough game, big tough game. I'll tell you that is coming up next. 97.1.
Hey, if you're dealing with old sports injuries, arthritis, or joint pain, if you've been told that you might need a new hip or a new knee, pay attention because I got to tell you about Straith Orthopedics. Dr. Brandt and Dr. Fleischman at Straith are Michigan's top hip and knee robotic joint replacement specialists with 2 convenient locations. It's got one in North Bloomfield, and the other one in Southfield. They offer affordable, minimally invasive treatment for joint pain, robotic hip and knee replacement, which comes at no additional cost to you and will have you pain-free within days after surgery. And if you're nervous about seeing a doctor, this is something I think is very important. Straith is offering free monthly Meet the Doctor events, and the next one will be a free lunch and learn September 8th, which is next Wednesday from noon to 1 at the Hyatt Place on Haggerty in Livonia. Dr. Brandt will share preparing for hip and knee replacement, what you need to do, as well as improving outcomes. You don't want to miss it. You can register for the Meet the Doctor event by visiting straith.org, or you can give them a call at 855-STRAIGHT. That's STRAITH. Straith Orthopedics is committed to you.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Duncan. A look at the drive this morning, and there is still a crash at 275 northbound at 6 Mile. That's affecting the right shoulder, and still seeing some heavier traffic through the 75 work zone, heading southbound approaching 12 Mile. There's a whole new spin on pumpkin to love at Duncan. Sipping to follow with a $3 medium pumpkin cream cold brew or a pumpkin spice signature latte. America runs on Duncan. Participation may vary. Limited time offer. Exclusions apply. Valid on pumpkin spice signature latte only and all cold foam cold brew. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Text the ticket using the same number you used to call the ticket. Ticket text 25539-9797.
FanDuel Sportsbook is looking at new users with an enhanced 30-1 odds for the first big college football game of the season. That's right, pick either Georgia or Clemson to win, and you can turn a $5 bet into a $150 payday. Sign up and make your first deposit, kick off the college football season. Not America's #1 sportsbook. There's no better place to bet college football than FanDuel Sportsbook with great promotions like this one. It's the #1 rated sportsbook app. It's easy to use and there's fast payouts. So make the most of college football this week with the enhanced 30-1 odds. Georgia or Clemson, your choice. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up using the promo code Doug so they know that we sent you. That's promo code Doug. Must be 21 or older and present in Michigan. New users only. Must wager in designated offer market. $10 first deposit required. $150 maximum bonus. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 97.1 The Ticket.
A message from the staff of Michigan's Crime Victim Compensation Program.
Anyone can be a victim of crime
and suffer lasting trauma, physically, emotionally, and financially.
But you are not alone. If you're struggling financially due to a crime,
we're here for you.
Find out if you qualify for crime victim compensation. Call 877-251-7373 or visit michigan.gov/crime victim.
A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Victim Services.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick. The type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera. And the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Churches has a deal made for you or all of y'all. Choose your favorite dinners, a classic style chicken and spicy or original. Sides and biscuits for everyone. So swing by for Church's food set starting at $20 a piece. Church's, breaking that down. Offer valid at participating location.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your fluid.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other
AAA parking lot on Main Street with the DJ, prizes, food truck, and more. Betting is a team sport. Bet together at WinBet.
Building a world-class sports station in a world-class sports city.
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
What team do you think will crash before
At the next light, turn right.
To me, it's a team that's barely out of the top 10. And they do have one tough game. And that's next week. I'm going to Oregon. They're traveling to Columbus. I think even if they lose, Pac-12 is a joke. And I think they'll skate by the Pac-12. And I think they're really good too anyway. I mean, but he might be the number one pick in the draft. Tim Dell.
Yeah.
He's really good. So I think they have a chance to crash.
Still, they can't lose next week. They have to win that game.
Well, they can't get blown out. If they lose a tight game,
I don't see how they can argue themselves ahead of any of the other, quote, one-loss candidates. They got to get that game. I actually think they're going to win that game because they play a physical style of football now, which is very different than they used to. And they might be able to catch Ohio State early in the season like this. I think Ohio State better be careful. So I actually think they are going to go undefeated and make the playoff, along with Georgia, Oklahoma, and Alabama.
So I'm going to give you another one outside that top 10 because I went with North Carolina in the ACC to unseat Clemson for this year. And if we're looking at a Pac-12 team that could make it to the college football playoffs. Now, they've been out for, is it 3 years in a row now, or is it up to 4? The Pac-12 has not had a season to 3. I'm going to go with USC. And Keaton Slovis, Graham Harrell, their offensive coordinator, they play Stanford early, which I don't think that's going to be a huge challenge for them, but they've got to run at Washington State, Oregon State, Colorado. They do play Utah, and I know they play, obviously, every year they play Notre Dame.
Right. Notre Dame home or away?
At the next
It's
light,
at Notre
turn
Dame.
left.
But I think that USC could put together a season where they find a way to get into the college football playoffs as a Pac-12 team.
Do they play Oregon?
They would play Oregon in the Pac-12 championship game.
So that could be for the playoffs.
For the playoffs,
Yeah.
100%.
So Gov and I basically agree, although we disagree about how they'll get there. I still think they can get there if they lose a close game to Ohio State. You think they have to win, which is cool. Georgia, I don't know. Georgia is like Michigan in the 90s, except for the 1 year when you guys won the
Maybe this is that
championship.
year. You got a retooling Alabama team.
Well, retooling, I'm not sure. Reloading.
In 1.3 miles,
Georgia does have a veteran quarterback. We've seen that before.
Georgia does not have a veteran quarterback.
Well, he
JT
played
Daniels. He
played last year, though.
A little bit, yeah.
That's what I mean.
So he was at USC. He tore his ACL, transferred to Georgia.
Played last year.
Has some experience.
Right.
I just don't know. They seem to be that team for me that's just a little bit. They just don't have enough.
I think they're going to beat Clemson, and I think it's going to be a slugfest Saturday night, more of a defensive type game. If they can get that game, I think they can get all the way to the SEC title game undefeated, and they can afford to lose to Alabama because of the Clemson win and still get them in. And that's why I think Oregon has to go undefeated, Stoney. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
if you put a one-loss Georgia versus a one-loss Oregon, it's going to be Georgia.
Georgia, it always seems, loses that one game.
They shouldn't.
Yeah, whether it's Tennessee or Florida, because Florida's going to be good again as well. Take a text.
I know Kyle Trask.
I know. What about Oregon? The Pac-12 is garbage this year, and they're going to be really good. Yes, we agree there. Ohio State, Bama, Notre Dame, and Iowa State. That's in Mike and Williamston.
I could see
At the
Iowa
next
State.
light, turn right.
They're starting at 7. I could see them making a run at it.
The problem with Iowa State is that they're named Iowa State. Unfortunately, they're that kind of perception, and royalty carries a lot of weight in college football.
But if they beat Oklahoma and win the Pac-12 and are undefeated, yeah, I think they have a chance. But yes,
yes,
right.
You are correct on that.
Somebody corrected me. I said it was Miller. Kyle McCord is the other quarterback at Ohio State. And that's him and Clarkson with the real
Jack Miller is there. Kyle McCord is the other freshman.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
there's 4 quarterbacks in there.
Wow.
Jack Miller is the one that I believe is a junior.
Yes.
He's the older of the bunch.
Absolutely.
It's the Stoney and Jansen 2 Grand Slam. Your chance to win $2,000 in 60 seconds.
Yes, indeed. Well, we got some decent ones lately. We had one guy, 2 weeks ago, had 7 or 8?
Yeah, I believe last week we had 8. And so that's the one I thought was gettable.
Yeah, and he used the clock wisely, came back.
Yeah,
absolutely. But yes, indeed, it is the 2 Grand Slam, 248-539-9797. The way this, we call it a little exercise works, we will ask you 10 questions in 60 seconds. You get all 10 correct, you win $2,000.
Then the destination is on your right.
You will get $25 for each correct answer. If you get one wrong, we won't tell you. If you don't know, pass. Go back to it. Use that time wisely. You're right, this is very gettable.
And if you've listened to the show today,
the destination is on your right.
About 2/3 of these and reference them at least. The other ones I think are should be gettable as well.
Yes.